Well, good morning, top performers. And what an amazing journey we've been on. And I've heard such just wonderful things from you guys. And believe me, it's just going to get better. And if you haven't, had all the excitement, everything that you want, that I would encourage you to enjoy the journey. And I heard from some of you in the past week on, you've gotten listings out of the blue. We just heard from Priscilla on the fun time that she's just having a fun time now. And it's easy, and that's exactly how we came here to be as deliberate creators, is to have a fun time and have it easy and call forth what we want and to allow it in. And so as we do that, we'll get some amazing things happening. And so Priscilla, instead of being able to recruit an agent, the agent called and said, hey, I want you to list the house. And then he ends up being a referral partner too. So things are just great there. Kim had reported that she had agents. She recruited an agent or two and then she's getting all these referrals from friends, from family, that the calls keep on coming in. And a lot of you have shared on how, wow, it just all of this happens out of the blue now, and on how by us pre-paving on what we want, that we can start having what we want. And we're going to have just an amazing session today. What you're going to understand here is going to take you to a whole new level. And so I've asked for this to touch your hearts, your minds, your soul. And I can feel vibration. And so for the participants here, I feel, where you are. And so these words are going to be coming to you straight from source. And I love also, before we started, the comment was made that, wow, I just love being linked to God. And so that's in essence what this is doing. I call it different words like source, but your source energy, that infinite intelligence, there's a lot of different words for it but know that that's exactly it. You're linked to the power that creates worlds, that you have the ability in order to mold that power into everything that you want to desire. Things just continue to unfold for me in just such marvelous ways. And I met with a potential client, and we talked, and then he said, and I told him I was interested. I wanted to spread this word and this understanding on how to be a deliberate creator. And he said, well, I can get you into the Rotary Club, and I'm fairly high up in there. And he said, in fact, I have someone who's real involved in the Rotary Club if you want to go out and meet them. And so I walk outside, and it's his driver who's involved in the Rotary Club as well as himself. And they have a 4-door 2014 white Rolls Royce. And it's just all fun. It's just all great. I mean, the universe can just bring you all kinds of fun, wonderful things. And then this week also, I was invited to the suite in Dallas for the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't know if I really want to go to that other than the experience. It's not so much the football game. It's more about, the people and just experiencing just to enjoy this journey, that you're on a beautiful journey. It's an eternal journey, that you're never going to get it all done. So why don't we all just relax and take it easy and know that everything that we have asked for is coming to us, and for us to enjoy this amazing, amazing journey. So let's look at our agenda today. that, again, this is going to enlighten you to a whole new level of understanding. We're going to start out with 3 principles of life. And when you allow and believe and really understand these 3 principles of life, that it will be all the magic you need to have everything that you want. And so it's going to be just, and you know, if you can right now think, what are the 3 principles? If I just would know 3 things about how life works, what are those 3 things? Just think about that, ponder that for a moment, and, you know, what would that be? Well, you're going to find out what that is today. And then we're going to get really personal. And so I have sent you a couple of sheets that I asked you to print out. If you didn't, no problem. Make sure you have a pad of paper. And in fact, always I want you to be writing down the ahas that you hear today, the thing that takes you a step closer to becoming a deliberate creator and building a thriving business and a thriving life, that you want to write it down, and that way it really internalizes you within you, because we have some beliefs, some understandings that we walk with every day that limit us from being all that we have. I want to share with each one of you that you are each way far greater than your physical bodies and than your current beliefs. That you are just this magnificent, deliberate creator. You're love. You're made in the image and likeness of God. And as we go through this today, that you're going to get a real awareness of your life and feel so grounded as we talk about prioritizing our lives. And every month, and what we're going to do is take kind of a test drive, if you will, on you're going to look at your life for September, just the next couple of weeks. But then every month, I want you to do that exercise. And you're going to see that usually takes 2 hours to pre-pave your month. And it's the most important 2 hours that you can have. When you are clear of your desires on what you want, which monthly planning does, and then you allow that when you have your desires match your beliefs, that you will receive everything that you have asked for. So this is only just the beginning. That think where you were 4 weeks ago, a month ago, and think where you are now. So just think, if you can change that much and start seeing these improvements so far, just think how much better and better it's going to be. Imagine, if you will, where you are on Christmas Day. I just love that day. I was referred to last week as Santa Claus, that I come with the big bag of presents of priceless gems of knowledge, of spiritual understanding. And so I just love Santa Claus, and I believe in Santa, and I think you should too, that this is kind of like that. You know, you ask and you get it. And so instead of asking Santa Claus, you're asking the universe or God, and it's just, you know, all beautiful and wonderful. And again, this whole process, I want you to relax your beliefs and just be really easy on yourself. But imagine where you are on Christmas Day. You're standing in front of the tree, and what have you achieved? What have you become? I do an amazing meditation that helps people to visualize what they want, and part of that is right now by you just thinking about, and I'd like you to just take a couple of deep breaths in. Just relax, and I don't want you to multitask. Get off whatever you're on or doing, that just be focused right now. This is going to change your life today. So I want you to just breathe in and breathe out, and just say to yourself, relax, and breathe in the breath of God into your body, clearing your mind, and just going through your body and cleansing yourself, and just breathe out. And then a third nice deep breath in. And just relax now, because in this soft, gentle space that you will be able to open up and expand your imagination, your thoughts, your feelings, your heart, and become more loving and become more aware of the deliberate creator that you are. We're then going to talk about our mission and purpose. We're going to look at the different areas of our life, and you're going to actually start being intentional in these areas. You're going to look at mission and purpose on what's out there, that big aha out there. You're at A, going to B. Well, what is that B? What is that you want to be, do, and have? And then we're going to look at the different areas of your life. And so, your family, financially, or your career, your mental, educational, and that definitely would be to listen to my CDs and just the MP3s that I send you and review these webinars over and over. The more you do it, that I have people that have been through this 3, 4, 5 times, and every time they go through it, they hear something a little bit different that helps open them up and helps their awareness of that. So the more you can listen to this, the better it is. But also socially, and where you are socially and where you are spiritually. So we're going to look at all of that, and then we're going to look at how to prioritize our life based on that for the next 2 weeks. And then again, you'll be doing that in for October, etc. So this is our second to last week together, and you are starting to really blossom beautifully, and you're like a flower here, blossoming beautifully and starting to have the things that you want. That's exactly how this life was intended to be. So that is our agenda. And so let's look first at the 3 principles or beliefs of life. And when you understand and fully understand these, and each principle I could speak for hours on, and we're going to, though, review these principles. And again, I would suggest that you write down these principles, and then as I talk about them, the ahas that you hear, I'd like you to write that down as well. So the first principle is, and something that I have been sharing with you every time that we meet, is that you're a leading edge creator. So what does that mean? And so I'm going to take you back to where you were before you came here. And again, I just want you to relax, and if anything, just, believe that, hey, it's a beautiful story. And so know that this is how it worked, that before you came here, that you were source energy, and that you couldn't wait to come here. And for you to create yourself into a physical form is like a miracle. It's just unbelievable. You're so aligned with source, and you had such a desire in order to come on to this, what we call planet Earth. And so you were there with this deep desire, and you knew that you were there in order to go through the contrast that this perfect world of contrast, perfect world of diversity gives you. Everything that you want or that you don't want rests here on planet Earth. That it is an amazing playground. You looked at this before you came here as a playground. And again, if you're, if you don't feel like, if you're not feeling good on receiving this information, then just do this, that right now you're standing in a playground. Don't get too caught up about the past, whatever, on that. Like if I tell you that you lived thousands of lifetimes, that might be a little difficult for you to understand, and it doesn't matter. That you purposely don't have memory of all those lifetimes because it would be confusing, and you wanted to come here, if you will, as a virgin to be able to just experience everything. And you came here to be a leading edge creator. You came here to sift through the contrast, all the good things that there is that you decide is good. Nobody else is deciding for you. You had nothing preordained before you came here. There was no path other than that you wanted to have 3 things. That you wanted to experience more freedom, you wanted to experience more joy, and you wanted to experience more growth. And I would put those 3 points down because that is actually what you want to ask for in your joy shop. That you want to ask for, I want to have more joy. I want to have more freedom, and I want to have more growth. And when you capture those 3 and ask for that your inner being, if you will, that essence, the greater essence of who you are, way greater, that if you look at your body is a small little speck compared to the infinite self that you are. And so because of that, that your inner being knows, your source knows on why you came here, and that's why. It's for your more freedom, more joy, and more growth. And as you ask for this, you're going to line up. And again, we talked about before we started the seminar that we talked about how great that we're linked now more to God. We're linked more to our source. Well, this is going to take you even a step closer to linking and to really being aligned and to blend. A beautiful word that I want, write this down. I want to blend with God, or with my source, whatever word you want to do. I want to blend with God. And so just think about how beautiful that is, that you want to blend. And so your inner being knows your full intention of what you want and what you don't want, but you're here in general terms, but you're here to sift through all this contrast and decide what you don't want, what you do want. It's like a buffet. You're going to the buffet. Most of us have been taught to go to the buffet of trouble and problems and to focus on that and to fix that and to think about it and to stay up in the middle of the night worrying about it, and that is not what we were here for. We were just here, as Christ said, to turn the other cheek. You don't look at the stuff you don't want. You experience something where you say, wow, I don't like, so let's go to real estate. And when you had a bad closing, or when you had a bad prospect for a listing presentation and it didn't work out good, that all you do with that is you say, that's what I don't want. And then you become the leading edge creator that you were born to be. And you say, what does that birth? Well, here's what I want. I want to have lots of listing presentations, and I want to have it with harmonious, uplifting, happy, fun people that love me, that I love. And when you start getting into that thought for about 1 minute, at least 4 thoughts, which I've already done just with that thought of listing, you start the energy that creates worlds in order to you start directing it, molding it into what you want. It's all about what you want, and that, you were born to have desires, okay? Ask and you shall receive. And so this asking is, how do you get to ask? If there wasn't contrast of things you didn't like, you would not be able to ask. And so that's why you want to bless it. You want to love the things that don't work, the things that trouble you, that you just look at it and you say, that's what I don't want. Now, show me, and ask to be shown, and you will be shown by your inner being, by your source, by all that is. Show me, what do I want? And when you ask that immediately, I already was able to birth the ideas of when I said a bad listing that went south, that immediately that birthed the ideas. Well, if I continue to think about that bad listing that went south, or I continue to think about that argument I had with a loved one, or I continue to think about how someone pushed my buttons, what happens is you grow that more, and that ends up being in your experience, because it's the asking, and the asking is your continuous, your ceaseless, if you will, prayer. So what is your ceaseless prayer? Your ceaseless prayer is the things that you birth from your contrast into these desires, and that's how you become a leading edge creator. So part of leading, so when you came here again, you decided that when I decide what I do want, I sift through the contrast and I see what I don't want And then I experience what I do want, and I think about what I do want. Yeah, this is because of this. This is what I want. And then to expect to have it. And so when you say, I want more money, then you can have more money immediately if you think that way. And so, I have the delightful experience to be able to prove this and like see all of my teaching that you can't see any of this. Okay. Everything that I teach that you can't see, but you can experience, and you have all started to experience more of what you want. So I'm in Russia, and when I'm in Russia, I say, I want to make some money today. And the average income is, $350 and per month, the average income per person. That, there's no way that I'm going to make money there. I don't know anybody there, etc. But I decide, I birthed an idea. I want to make some money in Russia when I go to Russia. And so I'm walking up the Hermitage, this beautiful staircase, and it's the widest staircase I've ever seen in my life. And there's all gold everywhere and pictures above me. And I turn the corner, and there's hundreds of people in this Hermitage walking up these stairs. And I look down, and there's $1,000 bill. A ruble. And so I pick it up and I go, oh, look at that. And it's like $40 or something. Well, how do I do that? What are the odds of any of that? That you are rising above odds. We have been taught that we're supposed to look at the odds. We're supposed to look like the lottery. The reason why any of us haven't won millions of dollars is only because of our belief. We haven't allowed it in. People win every week millions of dollars in Texas or anywhere else in the United States in the different states. So why not you? It can be you. And so we're now approaching, and you are getting to the point you're above the odds. You're above the circumstances. It doesn't matter what kind of market's out there. If there aren't a lot of listings, I have clients of mine that I coach that are kind of complain, say, I have too many listings. Okay, I have one mentee of mine that she said, you know what? I want to get some good pre-qualified leads, and she's gotten 3 great pre-qualified leads in the last 10 days. It's like, how does that happen? It's because you are this leading edge creator. And so I want you to embrace this. And one of the things to do, and a great way of, we talked last time about affirmations, is that just to start saying to yourself, I am a leading edge creator. Now I'm going to share with you a technique that is going to be most helpful for you. You have experienced desires, okay? You've had many, many things. In fact, you have birthed so many desires from this life's experience. You could have it through many future life experiences, that you have birthed lots and lots of things that you desire, things that you want. But not so many have come because it's clogged. And where the clog is the aim, the allow, believe, expect. And so you're starting to believe in God. You're starting to allow your good, and you're starting to understand that you are worthy. But sometimes we have a hard time, because for all of your life, however old you are, whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever that age is, that you basically have been brought up with beliefs that don't serve you. And we talked about that last week. And so for example, so the technique here is, instead of saying, oh, I have a thriving business. Let's say if you say that to yourself, that you're thinking like, well, my business isn't thriving, even though for most of you it is. But there's some of you I know that you would like it to thrive really a lot more. And it may be for all of us that for us to thrive our businesses a lot more. And so one of the ways to say this, and I want you to write this down, is I love the idea of. So instead of saying I am a millionaire or I want $1 million, that I love the idea of being independently wealthy. I love the idea of having a thriving business. What that is that's easier. It's softer. It's softer on you. You can believe that. You do love that idea. And the more that you think, remember what a belief is. It is just thoughts that I have thought continuously enough. People have showed me that they say this is a belief, and then you went and experienced it because you believed it, that you believe what they told you, that you went on to prove them right by saying, oh, I experienced that. This must be the truth. But it's not the truth. That you can make whatever you want. And so one of the ways to change your beliefs is to continue to start saying, I love the idea of having a thriving business. I love the ideas of having ideal referral partners that refer to me clients out of the blue all the time. I love to attract because what you are. So for example, with money, money equals freedom. And write that down. Money equals freedom. And what do you do with money? And what do you do with everything? You attract it and you create it. Okay? I attract and I create whatever I want. And so right now you're saying, but that's not true, because what is? You're going to tell me about, well, I didn't create all the money I want or all the business I want or the lover I want or, whatever that is. And I'm sharing with you, you can't be looking at what is. So to be a leading edge creator, and I want you to write this down, it is to think about what will be. I would rather have you think now more often on what will be. I love the idea of being independently wealthy. I love the idea of having a thriving business. I love the idea of attracting clients out of the blue consistently. I love the idea of having large sums of money easily and consistently flowing into my experience or flowing into my checking account. And that, believe me, you all love money. Money is just freedom. It's just all these distorted ideas about money. It's hard to get. It isn't hard to get. It can be very, very easy. Like we shared again before we started here, that one of the participants said, that it's easy now. It's easy and fun. And that is you being a leading edge creator. So the first principle is that if you can just wipe out, and you have the power to do this, just wipe out all the other stuff that has happened in your life and just think right now about that you are a leading edge creator. You came here to sift through the contrast of what you don't want, what you do want, sift through it, and to be able to then identify what you want, ask for it, and then receive it. But you have to allow it. And so now I want you to write down again. There's lots of, these are the secrets of the universe. If you ask for, I want to be in a pure state of allowing. I want to allow my good to come to me. And here's what's going to touch your hearts. I give myself permission. I give myself permission today to have what I want, to have a thriving business, to have a thriving life, to be happy, to be healthy, to feel and look youthful, young. I'm young and beautiful. Every day I say I'm getting younger every day, and I just love that. And I just smile, and it makes me feel good. The whole journey is, number one, to enjoy the journey. And so as a leading edge creator, the truth shall set you free. And this is the truth, my friends. This is the truth for you to know that you can call it the way that you want it. So that's principle number one. And again, I could speak on this for days. And I have my own, personal coaching. And if you're interested in that, you can contact me about that. But we can get in specifically on you being a leading edge creator, maybe some of the roadblocks there, and then some of the enlightenment that will happen for you. But it's happening right now for you, that you are a leading edge creator. The second principle, the second truth of life, to have life work on your behalf, to understand how life works, is to know that there is only well-being that flows. So think of it as a stream, a beautiful, clear, pure, crystal water stream that you're going down, and it's the stream of abundance. Most of us have not been in a pure state of allowing, and we have tried to figure out how to do it. And the how, remember, that's God's work. So we've been swimming upstream, and it's been a struggle. But it's a stream of abundance, and if you let go, and so not be attached, like, for example, don't be attached to this world. I'm coaching someone right now that is way too attached to money. Money is just fun. Money's easy. There's plenty of it. There's plenty of money. That's another great thing, right? There's plenty. I have plenty of money. I have plenty of time. Or if you can't quite do that yet because you say, but I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, then say, I love the idea of having plenty of time. I love the idea of having plenty of money. But this idea of well-being. So most of us are Christians, and everything based on the Bible, everything came from God. Well, if God is good, then so everything must be good. It's all how we interpret it. When we look at contrast as being, oh, that's just part of this beautiful world, a beautiful, perfect contrast of things that I don't want that helps me birth ideas that I do want. I'm telling you, if you were on an island by yourself with millions of dollars, you'd be bored stiff within 2 weeks and you couldn't wait to get back. Okay? And so for you to start realizing that there is only well-being flowing to you. So let's look at that and dissect that a little. What does this mean? It means there is no source of evil. There is nothing that is working against you. In fact, everything is working on your behalf. Everything, and I like to use the word playing, is playing on your behalf. And everything is yielding to your desires. That's what you're here for. You are able to manage this, mold this. It's like imagine making, and when I was in Europe this summer, that the beautiful, some of the beautiful sculptures that they made out of clay. I mean, it's just unbelievable, full human beings, male, female, that just, this beauty that they made out of, how do they mold that? Well, that idea came from, it was just a piece of clay. Okay. In some cases, it was a piece of marble, or actually in most cases, it's a piece of marble. I mean, it was just a big block. Okay. It was just there. It was nothing. But someone in their mind decided, I'm going to mold this piece of marble, this clay. I'm going to mold it, and I have a picture in my mind of whatever, an angel, a body, whatever it is. I have this picture, and I'm going to mold it, and they molded it, and they made it the way they wanted it. Well, so source is, God is, let's call it the marble. It's all there, but it's up to you with your thoughts in order to mold that energy the way you want. The reason why you don't believe you're a leading edge creator is because you've been molding energy about stuff you don't want. You've been, brought up to believe there's a devil. The only thing working against you is your own committee, your own thoughts that you have been brought up to believe. There is only well-being that flows to you. When you cut your finger, who heals that? Who's the healer there? There is a force, there is a power that is greater. I took a person that had cancer and was told they had 6 months to live. And with their mind together, that I helped change this person's thinking and not give power to the doctor and not give power to this dis-ease, because that's all cancer is dis-ease. And for this person to start becoming at ease and comfortable and calling forth the well-being. And he got healed without any chemotherapy. He got healed without any doctors, any medication. Well, how does that happen? That's the power that you have, and that's this well-being. It flows through you. Your body would be perfectly healthy if you didn't have troubling thoughts. Like, I'm 61 years old, and I feel like I'm 17 years old, and I feel just fantastic. And why is that? That, some people might say, well, it's hereditary. Well, my brothers aren't, near the shape I am and feeling so good and everything. So, that can't be it. And so what is it? Well, what it is that we are creators, but we've been creating what we don't want. And you are now a deliberate creator that can now use this well-being, this energy that creates worlds, to flow through your body, to flow into your mind, and to realize that, my goodness, I can create it the way that I want it. There's nothing stopping you. In fact, there's everything flowing to and through you of well-being. And this is a big point, and for me to understand this took years for me to really understand, because, again, I was brought up on, thinking there's the good force and the bad force. And, again, there's nothing working against you. Everything's playing for you and on your side. And so finally, and I know that you're hey, this is unbelievable. This information is going to set you free. And here's the third one that's going to take you to a whole new level. There are cooperative components that rendezvous with your thoughts. Cooperative components. So I was, 2 weeks ago, I start live Top Performers in Dallas tomorrow. And 2 weeks ago, I realized, wow, I haven't invited anybody to Top Performers, and I'd like to have 12 people to be in my live Top Performers. And so that started it, and that started the energy, and I just started thinking, wow, I just love that. So let's use your example on, wow, I want to attract listings out of the blue, or agents out of the blue, or closes out of the blue, lots of money out of the blue, that I want to do that. And so you start creating that energy. So I started creating that energy, and all of a sudden, I got this idea about, so cooperative components are going to be thoughts. So you're going to be given thoughts that are cooperative components about what you want. So imagine this, if you will, as I like calling it a love tornado. That you build love tornadoes. And it's a great description to help you understand cooperative components then, and the power of a tornado. You know how it gets so big? Well, where did that start? It just didn't all of a sudden become a tornado. That you are the one in your life that can create love tornadoes, and you do it with your thought. And why do I ask you to do the Joy Shop for 15 minutes? Because with 15 minutes, that can take you to all that you want. You don't need to sit all day in thought. You just need that 15 minutes of the Joy Shop, and then to be a deliberate intender of every episode of your day. And remember, you just start calling it the way you want it. So right before you came on here, if you said to yourself, man, I'm going to be enlightened, it's going to be amazing, that I'm telling you, cooperative components are going to feed to you that. But if you say this is going to be crappy, lousy, that, no good, it's not going to inspire me, guess what? That's what's going to happen, because there is no judgment with God. Do not judge, Christ said, right? That there is no judgment. That if you want to think, hey, it's going to be crappy, it's going to be crappy. If you want to think it's going to be great, it's going to be great. I'm sharing with you that all the time. It's fun. Yesterday I was in a seminar, and I saw two people talking in the room. And so I went in that room, and I mean, within 3 minutes, we're all laughing, having a good time, and they both kind of looked down, whatever, and I walked in there, and we're all laughing and having a good time. And then one person who knows me, had seen me at a couple other seminars, said, man, all you do is have fun. And I said, absolutely. I never do anything that I don't enjoy. That I'm going to enjoy it, and then I prepave it, and I start asking for cooperative components to give me just fun stuff. If I start thinking, oh, this isn't going to be fun, then guess what? It's not going to be fun. I mean, I do this with traffic. My traffic just flows easily. I have fun. That even when I am in, rush hour or whatever, I'm having a fun time. Whereas somebody next to me might be beeping the horn and doing, but seldom am I in rush hour. And why is that? Because I asked for that. So cooperative components put me on the road to where I don't have to have traffic. I mean, literally, you can control the traffic. You can control, I won, I don't know, like $20 in the lottery last week. And I just do it all for fun. It's all for fun. I know it's coming. In fact, I've been told I'm going to have $56 million. And I just love that. And so I know it's coming. In fact, it's here. I just need to turn to it. And so, this is just all fun. If you expect this week to have listings are going to come to you. It's all fun. And why are they going to come to you? That because you're such a powerful creator, that you're the one that gets to call the universe. It's like a radio, okay? You just tune that channel, and so you're tuning it with your thoughts. And if you want to tune it to FM 101, and that's the happy channel, you're going to get happiness because of this third principle, cooperative components. So what are cooperative components? Well, I shared with you that some of the cooperative components are thoughts, that you're going to get bigger, better, more imaginative, more wonderful thoughts. That I'm sharing with you, it doesn't do you any good. In fact, it does you harm to try to figure out a problem. If you have a problem, birth the idea of what you want and focus on what you want. I want the solution. Be solution orientated. That was easy. But if you keep on harping about it, they keep on doing it, cooperative components are going to go down there with you. And that's what I would call hell. The only heaven and hell is what you make right now. And so I'd rather, instead of being so intense, that I'd rather just say I'm either going to feel good or feel bad. And when I feel good, I'm thinking about thoughts. And guess what? Whose cooperative components are with that? When I'm feeling good and thinking, it's God, it's my source, telling me that what you're thinking about, the way you're thinking about this subject, is correct. It matches your desires. Allow it in. It'll come to you. So when you think about your thriving life, when you think about your thriving business, when you think about your thriving children, when you think about your happiness, your love, that just start falling in love with everything. You're going to start seeing that that's going to raise your point of attraction. This is a point I have not talked about, is about this point of attraction. That just imagine the wall in front of you that you're looking at, and halfway up is kind of the 50% line. And next week we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you the final understanding that you need that's going to put all of this together next week. But for now, that we're going to just look at that wall in the 50% line. Above that 50% line, you're feeling good. Below, you're feeling bad. That when you're feeling good, that what happens is that, and here's the secret of the universe, is that when you're thinking about a thought that you like, that you are going to be given to God, that makes you feel good, that you're going to be given by God a higher thought, a thought that's going to make you feel even better. And that raises what I call your point of attraction. You can call it the way you want it, and you cannot have what you aren't. So if you're not high flying on what I like to call the high flying saucer and the love tornado, that if you're not on that, that you're going to get life by default, and you're going to get, for the most part, things that you don't want. And that's why most people are in a struggle, because they don't understand that there's cooperative components. So thoughts are one, and I just shared with you on how that literally God lifts you up into the next better thought. At the same time, understand that you're going to be feeling bad if you're thinking about thoughts you don't like, but you're going to be given cooperative components of things you don't want too. Now you're going to feel bad, and that's your communication with your source that, hey, this is not what your ultimate desire is. This is not what you want. This is not your intention. And so it's communicating all the time. God's communicating with you. When you feel good, you're right lined up with the way God thinks about it when you're thinking bad. But when you think bad, you're going to get cooperative components of that as well. But let's go back to good. So cooperative components, and I'd like you to write this down. Cooperative components are thoughts. So as you think good about things and feel good about it, that you're going to get cooperative, more good thoughts. Okay? Then you're going to also attract cooperative components of people, places, things, circumstances, events, timing. It's the how. So you just think about what you want and why you want it, and then God's going to take care of everything else. And I like, if we do the W's, okay, you do what I want, why I want it, and then your 3 W's are when God does, when, where, who. And so that's why you get out of the blue circumstance, out of the blue people that come to you, is God's bringing it all to you, because you're now thinking about the things that you do want, and you're becoming a leading edge creator. So here's the beauty of this. Do you understand the impact of what I'm sharing with you? That you are not alone. You are never alone. You are loved and supported to the highest degree. And this is going to take you, and some people say, well, what does this have to do with business? Everything. What does this have to do with money? Everything. What does this have to do with happiness? It's everything. It's the secret. It's for you to understand you're a leading edge creator, that only well-being flows to you. So you just need to allow that and think about well-being and think about good, think about the things that you want, and then know you have cooperative components. Now, some people ask me, well, what does God give me then? Is it, in essence, the cooperative component is God, is your source. God will lead you. God will support you. God will guide you. Now, we as human beings sometimes think, hey, I want to take control. I want to do the leading, whatever, and our ego gets in the way and everything. And I'm sharing with you, you are leading. You call it. You say B. This is where I want, you're at A, B. I want to go to B. And you let God open up your path. Let God light your path. It's all coming to you, but you have to believe in God. You have to believe that there's cooperative components. Another thing, and my angels love talking about this, and they're all on their bellies laughing right now and rolling, that call upon your angels. that call upon your angels. I had some guy say to me, hey, the Bible says not to, have angels. And he showed me, I don't know, 3 quotes or something from the Bible that maybe, said something about that. Then I showed him about 20 quotes from the Bible that said it. But the fact is, whatever you're looking for, you're going to find. You're going to make it the truth, your truth. Okay. So my truth is, I know there's cooperative components, and that you know that too, because how does it come out of the blue? Well, it's out of God. So I call it out of the blue, but really what this is out of God. And then you are in a state of allowing now, and you're becoming a deliberate creator, thinking more and more about what you want. And that just opens up the gates and allows the well-being to flow, and then allows God to light that path for you. And so imagine this. So in the morning, when I'm done with my joy shot, I literally can feel the energy in front of me just taking me to where I want to go. I said, this is where I want to go, and I allow my source to guide me, to support me, to love me, to get me there. And I'm loving every minute of the journey. Now, you know how I am about my wife Sharon. She always gives me good material, and so she's moving into a new office, and like it's her dream come true, okay? But you wouldn't know it the way that she's, this bad thing, the computers didn't show up. And I said, honey, just enjoy this journey. In 2 weeks, you're going to be all in. Everything's going to be fine. That there's just going to be some contrast there and things you don't like. What do you want? Well, you want computers. You appreciate computers more, whatever. But look for all the good and just look at that your dream is coming true. So I want all of you to enjoy the journey and enjoy this just amazing, marvelous journey that you're on now. And it's your lighted path. You're going to just find more and more joy. The heavens are going to part. You're going to have more of what you came here for, more of freedom, more growth, and more joy. And it's all coming to you now. And it's coming to you powerfully because you have all that is. You have God that created everything, that you now understand how life works and your role in it. You can discard everything else that you were taught, that you have beliefs on, and just let go of it. Be soft with it and just say, I'm just going to focus on what I want and allow God to bring it to me. And that's it. That's all you need to do. But to do that, you need to be clear on what you want. And so now we're going to go into a remarkable hands-on process on how to prioritize your life. So each month, I'd like you to complete this monthly planning, this process. And again, I sent you the pages. And if you have any questions about this, that you can either go up right now and just type it in, as I have you on mute, or you can, contact me at any time, and I'm here to help you. And I help people become deliberate creators. I tap into them, help them tap into their source so that they understand life, so that they can become their greatest possibility. I ask every day, and I would write this down, I want to be the essence of all that I am. And all that you are is so grand, so magnificent, so large, so big. It's beyond your current beliefs. It's beyond your current body. And that when you ask for that, you will be given, because cooperative components will come calling. So this prioritizing your month, it's the most productive time in your month. It takes 2 hours to make your month the way you want it. And you are now pre-paving your day in the Joy Shot. And this now kind of steps back and helps you to pre-pave. So we talked about, pre-pave the day in the Joy Shot, pre-pave each episode that happens during the day. So like the next thing, if you're going to go drive right now, you say, hey, I want the traffic to be smooth, that I want it to flow, I want to be there on time early, I want to be there early. You just call forth what you want. My son went to a real famous restaurant, and everybody told him, you're going to have to wait for hours. And he was driving through, this little city in Georgia, and with he and his boyfriend, and so they got there, and well, on the way there, they said, my dad says to call it the way we want it, so let's call it the way we want it. What we want is we want to just walk in and get a table right away. And again, there's hours and hours wait line. You can't make reservations. It's packed all the time. They get there. There's a huge, huge line, all these people waiting. They go up to the front counter. They say, hi, a table for two. And they say, oh, we don't have anything available. And they look at each other and they're thinking to themselves, hey, we didn't call it that way. We're gonna get a table. So all of a sudden, the lady walks down the stairs and says, hey, I got a table for two if you guys want to come up here. And up they went the stairs, and they went, man, this is remarkable. But we're so used to believing and honoring other people's opinion about what they think and how it is, and it's rough or it's a line or whatever. And so you just start calling it the way you want it. So we talked about pre-paving our day. We talked about in the Joy Shop about episode intending, where you become very deliberate in each next episode of your day. And now we're talking about your month. And you only get your month. So, for example, this is September, and the last couple of weeks of September here, you're only going to get it once. And think of October. October 2014 is the only October 2014 in the history of the world. And how are you going to make it? Well, you're going to make it the way you want it. And here you go. The first thing I'd like you to do is go to the mission purpose page. And again, if you don't have that page there, you can just write it down, mission purpose. And what is your mission and purpose? Now, I would say to you that your overall mission and purpose is to feel good. But next week, we'll talk more about that, and you'll see on how all that comes together on this aligns you. When you feel good, you're lined up with your source. You're lined up with God. But to be a little bit softer and easier, that I really want you to think about, what is your mission and purpose? Like, what are you here for? And I basically shared with you today why you're here, the overall, but it might be, so for example, my mission and purpose, 20 years ago, and maybe longer now, that it was to be, I wanted to have $1 million business. I wanted to become independently wealthy. I wanted to be the best dad. I wanted to be the best husband. I wanted to have a thriving life and travel the world. And you know what? I got all those things. But if you don't call for it, if you don't ask for it, you're not going to get any of it. So if you think, oh, I can't be independently wealthy, or, only the lucky people or whatever, then say, I love the idea of being independently wealthy. But think about what your mission and purpose is. So it could be that, hey, I want a thriving business, and but just stay general with this, that, what do you want? I want good health. Another great one that I use actually in my Joy Shop every morning is, I say, I want you to write this down. I want a long, healthy, prosperous, and happy life. Long, healthy, happy, prosperous life. And so that's a good one. But I'd like you to write down, what's your mission and purpose? It's kind of like you're at A, going to B. B is in whatever, a year, 5 years, 20 years, how you want to be. Another mission and purpose is, I want to be the essence of who I am, who I really am. I want to let go, release my beliefs, and I want to become the essence of the magnificent, deliberate creator that I am. Whew. Powerful, my friends. So, mission and purpose. Then we're going to look at personal goals to focus on this month. So again, we're going to kind of test this, and then you can do it for October. If you want to do it for October, that you can do that as well. But whatever feels best for you, either the next 2 weeks or for October. And so family and home. So I want you to get real deliberate. What are you going to do? Let's do October. October is good. That is a fun way of doing it. So I'll use the example of October. Family and home. But maybe you want to. So for me, I look at my month at a glance, and with my coaching, I have a whole time management system that saves like 3 weeks a year, and people just get really focused in their high payoff activity and thinking the way that they want to think about things that they want. And so in my time at my month at a glance, that is Halloween. So I might, under family and home, say, hey, I want to have the best, most fun Halloween. If you don't plan it, if you don't get your costume, then you got to look and plan on, hey, when am I going to get my costume? Is there going to be out, before that? And so how am I going to do that? And then let's see. So that's Halloween. Now, also on October 6th is my youngest son's birthday. And so I want to make sure that, I have enough money to send him. He wants to make sure I have enough money to send him. So, I send him more and more bucks every year. And so they can't wait to figure out how much money that I'm going to, be sending them. I think the limit is 27,000 without taxes, something like that. So anyway, so they can't wait, and I kind of tease them with that. But how do I make Johnny's, my youngest son's birthday, the best? And so if I think about that now, that what'll happen is cooperative components will come to me and they'll give me ideas. So I want to make Johnny's birthday just a fabulous birthday. And so I know that cooperative components right now, this is real stuff we're working on right now. This is really you. This is your life. You're pre-paving right now. What do you want to do with your family and home? You know what? On some family member that bugs you, start looking for positive aspects of that person. So I'm going to start looking, and when you shine your spotlight on someone and on what you want to see in them, you're going to start seeing it. That most of us are too busy thinking about the things that push your button, the things they don't like about you don't like about this person or that dysfunctional family member or whatever. That hey, you start calling the way you want it. I want to see that person uplifting, happy. My father-in-law, he says mean stuff about me all the time. We were talking about Sharon's move and the computers that they were supposed to come this week. Instead, they came to her office last week, but when FedEx came, they didn't have her new name on it and everything, so they sent the computers back. And so Sharon's dad says, well, why didn't you take that husband of yours? He won't call me Hank. That why don't you take that husband of yours and have him wait at the office? So what? You want me to wait all week for a whole week? And he thinks I'm not doing anything or whatever he thinks. And I just laugh about it. I just bless him and say, hey, I love him. And when I see him, we get along great because I'm too irresistible. My desire is greater than his desire to be ornery. My desire is greater for him to be loving, to love me, for me to love him. And that's what I get in my experience with him. And then Sharon just laughed at him, just laughed, said, no, he was actually in, training for a couple hours today. And, but he thinks I don't have a job. And actually, he's right. I don't. I only play. And so anyways, let's get really intentional about family and home. I love this one. I'm going to build a deeper and more meaningful relationship with my spouse. I'm going to build a deeper, more meaningful relationship with my children. Start being intentional, and now you're starting to see how life works. Oh, cooperative components are there. My angels are there. God is there, helping me to the things that I want. So this directs you to the things that you want. Financial and career. Now this one, that might be, so what do I want in October? I had someone last month tell me for September they wanted to make $45,000 in a month. And that person will probably surpass that amount. But if you don't call for it, you're not going to get it. Now, if that amount is too high and out of your grasp right now, double it, whatever you made. If you made 3,000, say I'd like to make 6,000, but you need to believe, you need to have that energy on, hey, that's what I want to do. I want to make lots of money. And so this month that, maybe it is that I just want to allow many closings, this month. Just be easy on yourself. But you have to start calling it forth. If you think, oh, I haven't done it in the past, remember I asked you to forget the past. None of that matters in the past. It doesn't matter how much experience you have as a real estate agent. It doesn't matter how the current business is. That's what is. None of that matters. What matters is what you're thinking about what will be. And now you realize, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a delivery creator, and I'm going to create October the way that I want it. And I want at least 3 closings. I want to allow at least $10,000 into my checking account, or whatever that number is. Whatever you feel good about, write that down. Okay. But if you're starting to write down something about, oh, I'm going to make $50,000 this month, and you're sitting there saying, there's no way in hell I'm making $50,000. Well, then guess what? You're right. That, I love the idea of allowing over $10,000 to $20,000. I mean, virtually all of the people that I coach now make over $20,000 a month. And so can you. Mental and educational. So for the next 2 weeks, I want you to focus on, and for October, since we're on October, here's what I want to do mentally, is I want to think only about the things that I want. I'm going to think about the way I want it to play out. The way I want it. A lot of us were told too as a child, don't think about yourself, think about, the other person or whatever. Well, if you don't think about yourself, that the whole world suffers. Because if you're not thinking about yourself and somebody else, that's their needs. You can't think for them. You can't feel for them. You can only think and feel for yourself. And as you feel good, and so here's another secret of the universe, we're all interconnected. We're all connected. As I feel good, I literally lift up everybody, and so do you, everybody in the universe. Everybody's dancing and happy. And you may not consciously be aware of that, but it lifts you up. It's just more of this well-being that is flowing to you. And you're starting to see on how all this is coming together and how easy this is. This is easy peasy. You just say what you want, allow it in, and there you go. You match your desires with your beliefs, and you get everything that you want. And so just be easy with yourself. Enjoy the journey, and just start asking for things that are simple and a little bit more than what you had, and then more will come, and then more will come. Once you get something, guess what? That desire, basically, the air lets out. After my first $1 million, that, being a millionaire, hey, that's no big deal. What the heck? What's the next thing? And it's more money. Absolutely. It means more freedom, but it's more other stuff too. I want more time. I want to travel more. I want to do some more things. And so you just slowly just start looking at, hey, what's the next thing that I want? And you'll see it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Think where you are going to be in a year from now. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome, and you are awesome. Then physical and health. In October, I'm going to be healthier and look younger and more beautiful and more sexy. I love that one too. And so start asking for it. Start asking for what you want. And that word sex, everybody's just distorted that whole thing. I mean, that is just great. It's one of the best, things you can do physically. And so what the heck is the problem? We should all have more of it. It's more loving, let's just do more loving and enjoy ourselves. Enjoy that believe me, that, all the angels are saying, yeah, you should enjoy that. That's what we're here for. And so just loosen up on whatever beliefs you had, and it's all good, and just enjoy yourself. Love yourself. Give yourself permission to enjoy sex. Give yourself permission to enjoy life. And so physical and health, that I am healthy. That I want to be healthier and healthier. And you will. Why? Because there's only well-being that flows. So if you ask for it, it's going to just all flow in. But if you start saying, I'm getting older, or I got this wrinkle, or whatever, guess what? You're going to get older faster. You're going to get more wrinkles. That I say I'm getting younger every day, and by golly, I am. And you just make it all up. Everything is made up. It's all thought. It all comes from thought. Remember, initially I shared with you that all creation starts with your thought. And so it's all made up. And so why don't you make it up the way you want it? And you are now, and I know you are, and I know this is touching your mind, your heart, and your soul, and you're saying, yeah, I'm going to start having it the way I want it in all areas of my life. And we're going through here identifying these areas of life, social and cultural. Do you know how privileged you are? Do you know how you got it so made that, I've shared with you, Russia's average income, $350 a month, their average square footage, a family of four, 650 square feet. Think of what the money you're making, and think of the home that you're in or apartment you're in, we got it made. You got it made. You're in the wealthiest nation in the world ever. That there's nothing to feel. Do you know your wealth? You're in the top 10% of wealth. No matter what you're earning right now, you're in the top 10% in the history of the world of wealth. And so, my gosh, what are we? We got toilets and electricity and cars and planes. And, we just have computers. We have it so made, phones, that we got it made. And so start doing that appreciation. And what I have found to be very helpful, and maybe something you want to start doing now that you're starting to get into the Joy Shop and just loving that Joy Shop. So you read the Joy Shop, that raises you up. You start feeling better, and then that raises your point of attraction. That's why I have you do the Joy Shop. Now you're starting to see the answers to this and how it's all coming together. Oh, I read the Joy Shop, makes me feel good. That lifts me up, raises my point of attraction so that I can attract now better ideas of the things that I desire, the things I appreciate, and then I'm going to prepay my day the way that I want it. And so do this, that I would get a really nice journal. In fact, I'm right at I only have a couple pages left, so I'm going to run out today and get just like a rockin' beautiful journal, and they got some good ones at the bookstore. But this is just like it's my appreciation journal. So at night, I sit outside on the porch. I'm on the 22nd floor condo and overlooking a beautiful forest and seeing the beautiful sunset. And I just start writing down all the things that I appreciate. And I just get so into it. And so, I might be 10 minutes, I might be 20 minutes, 40 minutes, that I just love it. And I am so fired up at the end of it that I have to ask my sleeping angels, I call them, to come in and help me get to sleep, because I'm so excited about life. And that's how we were meant to be excited, to love this life. And I want you to love it. And this is how to do it. This is how to do it, and you're going to start seeing everything's going to be coming to you. And as we were talking before we started this, to line up with God, that's what we're going to do. We're going to line up with our source, and this is the path on how to do it. So you have been so blessed, and what are you giving back? Social and cultural. Be nice. If anything, just smile at people when they walk by. Say hi to people. Smile at them. Be nice to your neighbor. Okay, that who cares if they did something you didn't like? That just forget all that judgment, all that crap, and you decide that you're going to have a harmonious relationship with everybody. And that as you decide that, you'll start seeing you'll have a harmonious relationship with everybody. I love doing this too, is in my Joy Shop, as I'm writing down what I desire. I want to laugh more today. And I find myself laughing all the time. It's just fantastic. And even if I'm by myself, I find myself laughing, and with my angels, because again, we're never by ourselves. So we're never alone. And you can call forth anybody, to include those that have left this plane called Earth. But that's a whole other story, and something, if you're interested in that, I'd be happy to share it with you. So social cultural, what are you giving back? And I'm on the Bill Gates and Melinda Gates advisory board on their foundation. And so I love doing that. We're doing education right now. That's the focus that I'm at. And so, I just love giving to the schools. And so I give talks to schools. I'm going to be principal of the day in a couple of weeks. And so I give back. I want to inspire, uplift, and encourage people. You are all uplifters. And so be who you really are and be an uplifter now. Get out of it. If you have any pity party, forget the pity party. Don't attend anymore. And then I'm going to just think about the things that please me and make me feel good. And then finally, spiritually and ethically, that I think we've really really understand this now that, yeah, I just want, what I want to do is I want to blend, and that's a beautiful word. I want to blend with my source. And as I blend with my source, that I have the whole universe backing me, supporting me, loving me, taking me to everything that I want, everything that I desire. So spiritual and ethical. And you know, some people say, oh, I do my devotions in the morning, which is the joy shop, you know, they call whatever you want to call it. But again, I want you to loosen up and not get too much into what your beliefs were before, and more just get into what will be in your life and that you want to feel good. So business goals to focus on this month. And so I'd like you to write down, what are my business goals? That as you start asking, you're going to start getting clearer and clearer on your desires. As you get clear on your desires, that increases the energy about those, that emotion about those desires, as you have more clarity, and ask for more clarity. And you're going to get more clarity. I want more clarity of what I desire. I want to know what I want. Because believe me, that most people, I've never met anybody that really knows what they want. And so I've helped them in order to discover, and you're being helped right now to ask, what do I want? And so business goals, what do I want? I want to attract ideal referral partnerships, that they are there. I'm telling you that. So I had a lady that was in Top Performers, and she decided, you know what? I want to get the best referral partner in the world. I want to get like 10 leads a day, and I want to sell millions of dollars of real estate. And that's what she said. Now, this is in January, and they graduated in February. And so I was just shared about her progress. And she found some amazing website. They take 30%, it's not Zillow, but see, she attracted it. She attracted this one step to the next and on her path, and found where you got to be in a certain zip code. Well, she, of course, was in that zip code. And so she gets so many leads that she has millions of dollars of real estate that she sold. I think it's $3 million that she sold of real estate this year. And she wasn't anywhere close to that. You know, she was, I don't know, 500,000 all together in a year that she sold, and she's over 3 million right now. And so if you want to get 3 million or 10 million or 20 million, and I have people that have goals like that, 150 million, that if you want to get to that point, you can. And so you just ask for it. So she attracted that, and she was able. So a referral partner, you don't know where it's going to be. You don't know if it's a teacher, your kids. You don't know if it's your hairdresser. You don't know if it's a loan officer. You don't know if it's because it's not your business to know that God's going to bring you what you want, that when you ask for it. So I want a referral partner that gives me consistently and routinely. And in this case, this lady attracted some company that gives away these leads and select zip codes, and so she was able to tie into it. I have other people that got attracted to me, and I give away lots of leads. I got lots of listings, and I know lenders that are the preferred lender to the home builder, and then the home builder has clients that they need to sell their house before they buy their new home. And so one thing, and then we have a system to through a business partner of mine to attract all kinds of clients. Anyway, so there's all kinds of ways to do that. Like, I probably have more leads than anybody that I know, and again, I give them to my coaching people, whatever. That, but that's because I asked for it. That, and so you can ask for it. I'm not even a real estate agent. And I get all that, and so you can get that too. And so you just ask for, out of the blue, these are the things that I want. And so, speaking of that, attract out of the blue clients and listings. That's what I want. I'm going to allow God to do that for me. I give permission for God to do that. I'm going to not stand in the way anymore. I've been standing in my way too long of the things that I want. I've been I've been putting these rules in front of me. I've been putting these barricades in front of me on why I can't have what I want. And I'm going to just release all of those, and I'm going to start calling forth what I want and not think about why these made-up rules that I have. I mean, I have a guy that made up a rule that he had to make $100,000 in 1 month in order to have people under him. I said, are you out of your mind? You know, you have all this experience. You don't need to make up that silly rule. So he dropped the rule, and he just recruited, I think, 7 people in the last 2 months. You know, it's like just incredible. And that's how easy life is when you relax your rules, your beliefs, your barricades, you know, that most people are in chains. And what you're doing right now, and I can feel it, is you're unlocking your chains. You're taking the chains off, and you're saying, you know what? I'm this deliberate creator. Only well-being flows to me, and I have cooperative components that will lead me to all of my desires. So back to business goals. Allow over $20,000 a month. Expand my imagination. To expand your imagination. What do you really want? Not what do you think you can get. That's the other thing about when people say to me what they want. It's what they think they can get. I don't want you to think about what you think you can get, because that way you close off God. God can make a thimble to a castle with the same amount of effort, if you will. It's all fun. And there is no effort. And the same amount of fun, it can make a thimble to a castle. So stop the guardedness, stop the rules and the regulations and what you can do and the limits that you have. You are limitless. So stop all those limits and start saying, this is what I want. Not what I think I can get, but this is what I want. I want to allow over $20,000 a month. And again, it doesn't have to be next month. You have all of eternity. It's no big hurry, but that's what I want. If next month I make more money, I like that. And then the next month I make more money. And you know what? Every month for years, I make more money every month. And I don't work. And so why is that? Because you create money. And again, people say to me, what am I supposed to do? Just sit around and think and feel? Exactly. Yep, you do that, and then go out and live life and enjoy it. And all you need is about 15 minutes, and then during the day, just pre-paving about what you want. And at night, do that appreciation journal, and you're home free. You got it all. There's no hurry. You'll see everything is coming to you. Everything that you wanted is coming to you. It's kind of like most of us have not been turned towards what we want. We look at the things that disturb us versus the things that we want. And so why don't you, right now, in this instant, decide, you know what? I'm going to turn my attention now to the things that I want. And then when I do, I know, as I allow God to enter my life, to give me everything that I want. It's what God wants. God wants to give you everything. God wants you to be more joyous, have more freedom, have more growth. So why not go ahead and loosen up and allow that to be yours? And then be deliberate in my thinking and feeling. And you're becoming a deliberate creator. In just a month, you've become a deliberate creator. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you in the amazing way that you're deliberately now creating more and more. And when that contrast comes in, don't give it much attention. Just say, that's what I don't want. What do I want? And you do that, and you're home free. And you're going to start just playing in life. Life is a playground, and it's for you to have all of your dreams come true. So top personal and business goals. And what this is prioritizing. Now you've written down all the things you want to do personally, all the things you want to do professionally, and then this is a way to prioritize your life. And I'm going to send you MP3 on prioritizing your life. So it's going to help you to start getting focused on, I'm going to start prioritizing my life the way I want it. And I'm not going to have life anymore the way I don't want it. I'm not going to have life by default. I'm going to be deliberate. As I'm deliberate in my thinking, that then cooperative components bring me everything that I want. See how easy this is? It is fun. I'm telling you, it's a blast. So write down, hey, what is the top personal one? After what I just shared with you, I think my top personal one is Johnny's birthday. I'm going to make that special, and Halloween. I'm going to get some type of cool costume. I don't know what yet, but I got Cooperative Components working on it for me right now, and they will deliver it to me. And so then all of a sudden the idea will come to me. Well, that's because Cooperative Components come and give it to me. It's fun. It's happy. Okay, high payoff activities. So there's a lot of different high payoff activities, and it kind of all depends, but I can basically say that for real estate agents that on the professional business, your first high payoff activity, and we covered this a little in Success Unit 1, but your first high payoff activity is to pre-pave. And so now you know, oh, I'm going to pre-pave my day, and I'm going to do the Joy Shop. I'm going to pre-pave my day there. I'm going to pre-pave episode intending every episode of the day, and then I'm going to do my appreciation in the evening. Boom, that was easy. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to attract referral partners. So I'm going to attract referral partners. Then what am I going to do? Next high payoff activities is I'm going to meet with prospects, turn them into clients. Then what am I going to do? I'm going to follow up with those clients. Then what am I going to do? I'm going to close and ask for referrals. That we have people that their main base of business is from referrals, that they get referrals from their previous clients. And so can you. Okay? But again, don't just limit it to that. There's a whole world out there for you to attract everything that you want. Then you can go to an imperative project list, which I would encourage you. None of you have an imperative one. You don't have to do anything. You want to get to the point where you're so in control, you're so grounded, you're so together that you just do it the way that you want to. And then an important project list. So now that is, hey, what do I want to do in order to, like if you don't have your database together yet, that's one thing that you want to do is start getting my database together. That I'm going to make another product called the Silver Bullet. And so that's one of the important project lists that I'm actually playing with right now. And I have my artist in Panama who's making that for me. And, you know, and you may say, where do I get an artist in Panama? That because Cooperative Components bring me all these things, that this is an amazing artist who's done the pictures of, painted the pictures of all my books, or my last two books, Inspiring Quotes and Encouragement from Dr. Hank. And so anyways, you identify what is your important project list. What would you like to start developing? And that you'll just start doing it. And it's one step at a time. Just be easy with yourself. Be soft, lift up, raise yourself, raise your point of attraction. Then finally, there's the 1 to 31 tracking sheet. And this basically is, what do I want to track in my personal life? And it's mainly thoughts that I want to track, but it can also be behaviors. So like Joy Shop could be in there. And then business goals that I want to ask for 1 referral a day. Okay, that would be a great one that you start asking you shall receive. Start getting comfortable with asking people, because you are so fantastic for the perfect agent that you are for the prospects that you are attracted to, that you attract into your life. You're the perfect one. You're the best one. So because of that, ask them for referrals. Ask them and you shall receive. And so now your success steps. That I'd like you to listen to Success Unit 4, Prioritizing Your Life at least 6 times. And I have that MP3 will be coming to you in an email shortly. And then complete your monthly planning. And so now we've gone through on monthly planning. Again, that typically will take 2 hours. It's the most important and best way to start pre-paving your month the way that you want it. And so it's about relationships, it's about your business, about your health, about your finances, your money, and again, you attract and create money. And then meet with at least 1 new ideal referral partner this week. So why don't you ask for, I'd like to have an ideal referral partner come to me this week, and just leave it alone. Allow it to come to you. Okay? And because the only thing in between what you asked for and you being given is you allowing it in. That's the only thing that prevents it from coming. Because immediately when you ask, that your source answers and has it in energy form ready for you, is bringing cooperative components in order to bring all of those things to you. There's only well-being. There's only God that flows to and through you. And so you're starting to realize, wow, you got it made. You're it. You literally are in the center of the universe, because what you call forth will come. And by the way, when it comes, that all people benefit. And so all the people that you'll attract, that's what they're asking for, and that's why you attracted, because what you asked for. So everybody wins in this. We're all interconnected. And why don't we all make ourselves winners now? And why don't we all today now become this deliberate creator on the leading edge? And that's who you really are. And then finally, listen to this recording. This has been powerful, my friends, that it has shared with you the steps to release you from any bondage that you have placed on yourself. It has freed you in order to become this leading edge creator that you were born. You were born. You wanted to come forth into this physical experience and to be able to identify what you want and then to experience it, to receive it, to have your dreams come true. And this session outlines how you can do that. And the next session, our last session, our graduation, if you will, is next week. And that is going to be an amazing time where it puts everything together and it really, really fills it in so that you have a full understanding of how life works, who you are, and how you can make life work even better for you. Make sure you do your joy shop every morning, and then contact me with any help that you may want. I'm here for you. I love you guys. It's been an amazing time together. That just, I would, if you have now a few minutes, just kind of debrief yourself and just breathe in, review your notes, and start realizing the magnificence of who you are. Love you. Let me know if I can help you. All the best. Bye-bye.